Hey, how's it going? This message is for Germany, for Germans. I want you, if you are German, to watch this video, and if you watch it, please pass it along to some other German citizen. It's important that you in Germany know what's going on with your country. See, because your news outlets, your official news outlets, are not reporting on something crucial that has emerged this past week. An investigative journalist named Seymour Hersh, who has had an incredibly long and checkered career, starting in 1969 when he revealed the My Lai massacre in the Vietnam War. Well, he released a very extensive article discussing the Nord Stream bombing. And in this article, he puts meticulous attention to detail and shows who exactly ordered that bombing, who carried it out, which explosives were used, when the explosives were placed, and ultimately who pulled the trigger on those explosives that destroyed those pipelines and, of course, had the effect of ruining the German economy. And Seymour Hersh proves conclusively what just about everybody suspected, which was this was a plan of the Americans. And in Seymour Hersh's piece, he says how the decision was made by Joe Biden himself and his national security team, principally his national security advisor Jake Sullivan, his Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, and the Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs Victoria Nuland. In the fall of 2021, before this conflict started in Ukraine, they took the decision to destroy the Nord Stream pipelines, which supply you, Germans, Germany, with the Russian natural gas that you need for your industry, for your electricity, for your heating. If you look at your electric bill, your heating bill now, and see that it has gone up multiples, it's because of the destruction of Nord Stream that was carried out by your ally, the United States of America. And this is indisputable. Nobody is questioning Seymour Hersh's investigative reporting because he has the facts cold. And I'll put a link in the description below so you can see for yourself the article where he lays everything out. Your economy, German people, was destroyed by the Americans. The people who actually pulled the trigger on the explosives, interestingly enough, were the Norwegians. The Norwegians, your other erstwhile allies in the NATO alliance, they pulled the trigger. They knew what they were doing, and they did it because of money. They did it because the Norwegians have their own natural gas that they'd love to sell to you at a much higher price than the Russians' natural gas. And the Americans, too, also had a financial interest in destroying your pipeline because they could sell liquefied natural gas at exorbitant rates. So you who are paying your gas bills in Germany, your electric bills in Germany, and the bill that once was 100 euros or 200 euros and now it's 300, 500, 700 euros. If you're a small business person in Germany that can no longer afford to operate because of your insane energy prices, it's because of the Americans. And the fact that I have to do this video is because your press is not reporting on this vital information that you should know. This is known information that is being censored by your government because your press in Germany only reports what your government wants it to report. And you in Germany should know what is actually happening to your country. The decay of your living standards, the inflation that's happening in your country, it was all done on purpose by your allies, by the Americans who are supposed to be your friends. This is what they did to you, and it has been proven. These aren't suspicions. These aren't like crazy conspiracy theories. These aren't crazy hypotheticals, as one of your government officials has claimed them to be. When the one time he was asked, and that answer was quickly, brushed aside. No, this is known. Your allies did this to you, and you are not being informed by your media companies because they are taking orders from your government that does not want your well-being. You think you live in a democracy? You think that the Olaf Scholz and your elected representatives care about you? They don't care about you. You don't live in a democracy. You live in a bureaucratic, totalitarian state where you are informed as your leaders, your betters see fit. Read the article. It's right there in the description below. All you have to do is click on it and you will see the proof of what I am telling you. Your allies destroyed your economic well-being, and your government is saying nothing about it. They know, and they say nothing. So obviously they do not represent your best interests. They represent the best interests of the global American empire, not the German people. Now you watching this video might ask, why does this, crazy YouTuber in Ukraine care about Germany? It's very simple. I'm almost half German. See, my maternal grandmother is German-Danish, or she passed away. She is of German-Danish descent. And my other grandmother, my paternal grandmother, was half German. So that, I guess, makes me, 3/8 German, almost half German, Don't be fooled by my Chilean looks, And so I care about Germany. I've lived in Germany. I lived in Flensburg, a small town that is north of Hamburg on the Baltic Sea. Lovely town. And I love German people. I have German friends. I've had German friends all of my life. I lived in Germany. I think it's a wonderful country, a wonderful, decent people. And it just breaks my heart to realize that you Germans who think that you live in a democracy, you don't. You don't. And you are being kept in the dark about something essential. Your economic well-being was destroyed by the Americans. Not only that, the Americans are trying to goad you into having enmity with Russia. Why? Because it serves their geopolitical interests. The Russians don't have any problem with you. And again, I'm not saying this, because I have any kind of relationship with the Russians. I don't. I don't have any family background with Russians, by the way. I'm, like I said, 3/8 German and the rest is all Latino. But I just see objectively what's going on. Russia and Germany were helping each other economically to their mutual benefit and prosperity. And the globalists in the United States, in Washington and in Brussels, they couldn't have that. And that's why they have inflamed this Russophobia in Germany. And that's why they destroyed your economic welfare. So you have no one to turn to except the Americans, except the bureaucracy in Brussels. A bureaucracy that orders you around like slaves. It breaks my heart. I grew up with German culture. Goethe, the Beethoven, Mozart, the whole shebang. I have great affection for Germany. As I said, I lived there. My family can trace its heritage to Germany to the 16th and the 17th centuries. I care about Germany because that's in part where I come from. And in my own experience of dealing with German people, they are salt of the earth. They've always been salt of the earth. And to see how the German people are being fooled, being lied to, and their lies of omission, you're not hearing this news. And so I have this very small platform on YouTube, and so I'm turning my attention to you in Germany, you Germans who are my cousins, basically, and I am telling you, this is what has happened to you. It was done on purpose, deliberately. If you have lost your job, if you cannot afford to run your business, if you are finding it almost impossible to pay your bills, understand what's going on. It was the Americans and the European bureaucracy in Brussels that has done this to you, because they are terrified that you will have a strong relationship with Russia. They are terrified of your prosperity, which threatens their power. And that's why they have created this rabid propaganda to demonize all the Russians, and this is why they destroyed the economic lifeline that you needed to continue your existence. And the people who are in power in Germany, they do not represent you. They represent the globalist elites, the globalist American empire, the bureaucratic bureaucracy. That's what's going on. And they don't care about what happens to you in Germany. They would prefer it if you were nice, compliant, docile slaves. And the press are in on this scheme. The press, who knows about Seymour Hersh's reporting, they are silencing it because they don't want you to know the truth. And that's why I'm doing this video, because I figured that somebody should tell you the truth.